bringing Renae Peterson up to the stage. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Thank
Let
you.
me tell you a little bit about Renae. So Renae is a leadership and spirituality coach for women. And she has been the founder of Empowerment Academy for teen girls for nearly 20 years. Woo-hoo. That is incredible. The topic she's going to talk about to us today is be still and know. The thing you may not know about Renae, if you know Renae, is that she drives her partner crazy because she spends a lot of money on fresh squeezed juices. That's awesome. That's awesome. The music that makes her move and groove these days is Celine Dion. And for everybody, she has a gift that she's going to be putting into the chat after, and that is a beautiful journal prompt to help you journal and write. How amazing that we're talking about journaling, that we're talking about words on paper, and so that's going to help you with that. And then she has, for one lucky listener today, a private energetic reset and up to a 90-minute session where you take a deep dive on your limiting beliefs. So we like to just send those off to the universe, shouldn't we? And that value is $250. So thank you for being on the Stand Up, Speak Up, and Show Up. You clearly have been doing that for a long time for a lot of young women. And take the stage away, my friend.
Thank you. Well, good morning. I'm so honored and blessed to be with all of you today. And it's so fun. I actually see a few names. Darla Delane, like, wow, nice to see you here. So my invitation, though, because be still and know the power of presence in women's leadership is kind of where I'm going. And so I want to just have us all presence ourselves right here and now. And those who don't have their cameras on, I know I'm the worst at it too. When I'm in an event, I'm like, got it playing, I'm in the kitchen, I'm like doing dishes, all the things. So my invitation is to just have everybody presence right here and now. Like, just set down everything that's even beside you. Please turn on your cameras. Just allow yourself to be fully present. So that is just my invitation. Oh, thank you. And I just love to see your faces. It helps me with my intuition and tuning into the energetics of my gifts as well here today. So I want to start by sharing one of my favorite quotes. And it is by Rumi, and it says, "The quieter you become, the more you are able to hear." So I want you just to think about that for a minute. And so it is an honor to be with you here today as we celebrate, this event, this International Women's Day event, a day where we celebrate women's achievement and promote women's empowerment. And yet in this space as we gather, I want to invite us all to step into something a little bit deeper, not just celebration, but some reflection. I want to talk about something we don't hear enough about in leadership and empowerment, in conversations around success and impact. I want to talk about stillness. What I know to be true is that there is a power inside of you greater than any external force, a wisdom deeper than any strategy or any plan. And it does not shout, it whispers. So when I say be still and know, when we carve out this time for this stillness, and I like to call it having a daily spiritual practice with my clients, we tap into that place where the answers already exist. This is not about inaction. It's not about waiting passively. It's about alignment with that intelligence that goes beyond the noise, beyond the stories, beyond the brain drama, beyond the fears and our mind's clutter. Have you ever noticed how when clarity comes in those moments, when you finally even set all the work aside and you're like, I'm just going to go have fun. I'm just going to go do something. I remember when I was in college or university, sorry, I also have a bachelor's degree in nursing. I had some major nursing papers to write. And as a young girl, I loved to ride horses with my dad. And so we went on this mountain ride, and it was even kind of raining. And my dad had one of these Australian rain jackets, and I absolutely did not want to go back. But I'll tell you this, in those moments, my 3 downloads for the topics of my nursing papers just came in, and it was effortless, and I was able to write them with so much ease and academically did very well. So I believe and know that there's a divine intelligence that is around us and within us. Science is even proving this. So in my work, I love to bridge the gap between science and spirituality. And so it is in those spaces of stillness that those solutions arise, those ideas are born, and the deeper healing happens. But yet what I notice with my clients, especially my women clients, is that how often do we run from the stillness? How often do we avoid silence because we fear, oh my goodness, what we might hear, and then we're going to have to act on it, and we don't even have the courage or the strength to do that. Like, what will we find there? I know this may sound counterintuitive in a world, my goodness, that praises us as women for action, movement, productivity, where we're told to hustle, strive, and prove ourselves. And the girls that I work with on a younger age, my goodness, they're being taught from a young age and buying into these paradigms that success is measured by how much we accomplish, by how fast we move, by how productive we are. But the idea of stillness may feel foreign, it may feel uncomfortable. But I want to ask you a powerful question. At what cost? One of my bravest women clients that I worked with, she recently shared with me, and it's just so profound. She said, Renae, in working with you and in investing in myself, by simply making the time to meet herself on that deeper level, she said, I finally found me, the me that I'd been searching for and running from all at the same time. And as I say that too, it can almost bring tears to my eyes, legit. Like I get goosebumps when I say that, because I can identify with that as well. And she just sentimentally articulated it so well. So how many of you can relate? And so then I say, we move fast, we strive, we accomplish, but are we really listening with a capital L? And my grandmother, she used to always say this. Oh, she was a spicy hot tamale, and she could get stuff done. But I remember her saying one day, Renae, my goodness, the hurrier I go, the behinder I get. And she would just like say that. And isn't that the truth? So further into my work, like I see this every day with my women and my teen girls, the go, 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 the anxious energy, the energy of proving, striving, of needing to be enough in a world, and let me repeat this, or say it strongly, not repeat, for too long has conditioned us as women for generations that we must earn our worth. But let me say this, and I do want to say this very boldly, we do not need to prove our worth, and we are worthy, period. So what does stillness have to do with leadership, with empowerment, with empowering the next generation? I'm going to say freaking everything. Because stillness is where we hear the sacred wisdom, whispers of wisdom. Stillness is where we reclaim our power. Stillness is where we meet the truth of who we are. This is why I say, be still and know. Maybe some of you or people hearing this be like, know what? Well, I'm going to say, know yourself, know your truth, know what your intuition is trying to tell you. Because in stillness, you will find what you've been searching for all along. And in my work, I believe what we're searching for is actually ourselves. You are the one you've been searching for. You are the one you've been waiting for. And for too long, we've been conditioned to override our instincts. And what I often see, there's so much gaslighting about narcissists, social media, and gaslighting. Well, here's the truth that I want to lay a truth bomb on today. We only fall for that and are subject to that and are victims to that because we gaslight ourselves. We gaslight ourselves into following what we want to believe versus honoring that deeper knowing. And so from a young age, and maybe you can agree that we've all been taught to be nice, to be agreeable, to accommodate. But once again, I bring up that question, what does that cost us? Well, I believe it's cost us our voices. It's cost us our ability to recognize red flags. It's cost us our ability to trust in ourselves. And I believe that one of the greatest gifts we can give the next generation of females, of women, is not just empowerment, but the ability to deeply, deeply listen to themselves. Because when a girl trusts herself, she cannot be manipulated. Because when a girl trusts herself, she recognizes predators. When a girl trusts herself, she can lead herself. So my empowerment program for teen girls that I've been doing for nearly 2 decades is to do just this. To teach girls how to honor that sacred space within, to trust their intuition, to listen to their own wisdom, and to cultivate being presence over productivity. Because what I know is a woman who is deeply tuned into her own knowing becomes an energetic force to be reckoned with. So I'm going to say this. Let us raise a generation of women who know that they know. And this isn't just about the next generation. This is about us too. I've worked with women who were in their 60s who didn't have all those lessons of listening and wanted to go back and do that intergenerational work to make those decisions, to go, I don't want my granddaughters, my grandchildren to follow in those same patterns. So as women, as visionaries, we must model what it looks like to lead from presence rather than burnout. And so in the last time I spoke about, I am a nurse, and so I'm deeply passionate about this heart of ours. And I think it's time and required that we start making this 18-inch journey from the head right down to the heart, to not just analyze, but to know how to feel and mine the wisdom from those feelings, to not just strategize, but to sense, to not just do, but to be. And this is where our true sovereignty and power is found. And so what I'm asking now is something that I do with my clients. And so I want us to present ourselves into this moment. And so I'd like everybody just to do this with me. I want you to rub your hands together, creating that heat, connecting that right hemisphere of your brain to the left hemisphere of your brain. And so now I just gently, if you're comfortable, and I would love you to do this, to just take a big, deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, closing your eyes and putting your hand over your heart. Presence yourself to yourself. Keep breathing in and out, that precious heartbeat, feeling your chest rise and fall. For just a moment, listen, not to the noise of the world, not to what you were doing before this, not to what you have to do after this, but what do you hear? What's been trying to get your attention? Because when you listen and truly listen, this is when we can change the world from this deeper spiritual wisdom place. So I'm inviting you in this moment to imagine all of the thoughts floating away like clouds, just letting it go. Just for right here, right now, your brain may come in and go, no, no, what about this, what about this? And you can just, you have the authority over that. You speak to that and you just say, no, not right now. And when your mind is clear, I want you to see a big red button in your mind. Only when you're ready, push that big red button. And like an elevator, have it drop you right down into that heart space. What do you hear? What wants to be made known? Who is that higher self calling you to be? What have you even heard before me? That you're inspired, that you're being called out of this comfort zone, that I call it this divine discontent, this nudge that's calling you deeper into your gifts, deeper into whatever you're being called to take up your space, to show up. And even just in this moment, say yes. Say yes to yourself. With a big breath in, just come back into this here now moment. I hope you can feel the power of your presence, the power of calming a nervous system, of learning to master this scientific, spiritual being that we are, spiritual beings having a human experience. And when we take that time to tap deeper into the spiritual aspect, it's profound. And so my mission on my heart, and for where I'm coming from with my upcoming book and everything, and what I am even feeling bravely called to step into the world and letting myself be seen, it's been a journey as well. And so I just say, let the world deal with it. I'm finally at that place because I need to listen to me. And so I just say, come along for the ride with me as well. And let's start rewriting the narratives. Then no longer we teach our girls to be nice at the cost of intuition, and no longer do it ourselves. No longer do we chase productivity over the cost of our own presence. No longer do we ignore this still small voice. Instead, we choose wisdom over noise, presence over proving, and intuition over insecurity or fear of what other people will think or the judgment if we follow what's good for us. And I don't know why I do. I feel emotional as I say this next sentence. Because when we do this, we don't change our lives, we shift generations. And this is how empowered girls become empowered women, and this is how we lead, this is how we rise. So my invitation is to be still and know. And I just leave you with my love, with my message, with my mission on this day. And just thank you so much for spending this time together. And thank you.
Some love. I mean, some more love. Some love, Renae. Thank you so much, and hearts and all the things. And we're jazz hands, people.